I'm here with my good friend Bart Aarts, a great black belt from the Netherlands. He runs a school near Amsterdam. And I'm excited to have you on the channel because you've got some interesting things to share.
Thanks for having me here, Rick. I'm excited to share some stuff with you guys.
So, Bart, the classic wisdom in Jiu Jitsu is position before submission. We've all been taught that. You secure the position. Once you have it secured, now you can think about the position. But you have a little different philosophy about that, and it's sort of a merging of those two ideas so that the position, or the submission rather, becomes the position.
Yes,
right?
Correct. So I'm very excited. I'm exploring this for some years now, where the submission becomes the position. And yeah, I can't wait to help you guys out with having better control during the whole submission process.
Yeah, so let's do this. I am very excited to announce that Old Grappler Summit is happening April 5th, 6th, 7th, 2024 here in San Diego, California. It's a 3-day jiu-jitsu and social event for the over 40 grappler. We're starting to fill up, so if you think you're interested in attending, the best thing to do is go to the website, oldgrapplersummit.com, and I look forward to training with you and meeting you. It's going to be epic. Okay, so what's our first position?
We're going to start in side control, so please lay down, Rick. And I'm sure everybody knows this position right here. So this is called an elbow cup armbar or spinning armbar. And it looks something like this. When I'm here, I pull him to his side, I step, I grab, I sit, I step over, and I finish the armbar from here. And what is kind of interesting is to see what are your options to escape or to prevent me from getting that armbar. So let's start from this side position. I have my arm over the head, and first of all, I always want my head here connected, right? Because if my head is too high, you can probably frame, and this kind of messes up my whole setup. So I control the upper arm, I have my head here, I place my hand over the head, and I pull you to the side like this, okay? So now, what is my main objective? Of course, everybody's thinking about the spinner, about the armbar, but I want to keep you on your side. If I just control your arm, you will be able to look up and turn to your back. So please go to your back. You can just rotate, okay? So I use my arm as a frame on his face. So now if you try to look up, it is so much harder. And if you try to go to your back, it's so much harder, okay? My elbow, by the way, is not resting on his ribs here, but it's in the front of his body. So it's not like a biceps curl, it's not arm strength. I'm physically moving my elbow towards the mat like this, and I'm controlling the head. Now if he tries to go to his back, it's so hard. Okay? The next thing that he might do is grab my gi pants to prevent me from stepping over. So by being just in the right spot, like here, I can transfer my arm from his face to his chin, and I can just reach up and I can break the grip. That will not work if I'm too close, okay? So I'm already thinking about that. I post my foot, I control the head. Where the head goes, the body follows. So he can't look up, so he cannot go flat on his back. He will grab my gi pants, and from here, if that happens, no worries. We bring my elbow towards his chin, and now while I'm pushing back with my leg, I'm pushing forward with my elbow. I make this big step here. And the next thing is I rotate, I grab the gi pants, and I sit down. Okay, why do I grab the gi pants? Because if I let go of the gi pants, he can probably roll out like a hitchhiker escape. Okay, it's a very common escape. So I know that, so I hold on to the gi pants. If he tries to roll out, it's so hard. Next thing, he probably wants to pull in the elbow to the floor. So instead of just holding the arm, pull it in please, yes. I'm controlling the triceps here. I'm actively pulling this up, and I'm very close, so try to pull your elbow in. Try to go for the hitchhiker escape. It's so hard. Now, let's have a little bit of extra flexibility. Instead of having my knee on the inside, I will bring my knee to the outside like this. My knee is on the outside of my arm, so I can step over. And this is the moment I can let go of the grip, I can grab the wrist, and I can finish the armbar. So let's do that one more time. So these are not only finishing details, these are the most common escapes or defensive actions that he can do. So from the position here, I can either connect my head or maybe grab like this. Now try to do the frame. It's also hard. Bring my hand over. I pull him to his side. My right knee is at his right armpit. Okay, again, I know that he probably wants to roll back. He doesn't want to give me this angle. So I control the head and my elbow is going to his sternum. Now try to go back to your back. It's so hard. Okay? When he grabs my gi pants, I'm already prepared because I know my foot is at the right spot and I can use my elbow to break that grip. Next thing, I make this very big step all the way to the belt. I grab the gi pants. So watch my foot. Where my knee is, my foot will go to the armpit like this. And now I'm not thinking about finishing the armbar. I'm thinking about controlling the elbow. Try to pull your elbow in, try to turn to your side. It's so hard. Yeah. Knee goes to the outside, step over, grab the wrist, and from here we have to finish. So what I love about this rig is I don't have to be in a hurry. I don't have to be super fast.
And actually, that was multiple positions.
Yes.
Because you have your initial control of the arm. You can think of that as a position.
Yes.
Then the frame, you can think of that as a position. And so at each stage of the journey, you're accounting for all the ways in which I can defend. And that's very astute.
And that's something I learned over the years, training with many of the best instructors in the world and competitors in the world. You can never have enough control or patience. Not only in this technique, but for every submission that you already know, that you are practicing, try to find the control in each step.
So do you have another example that you'd like to share?
Sure, yeah, let's go to the same position. Let's go to the side control. I love side control because we are perpendicular, so it's much easier to hold somebody down in this position than in a mount. So let's say again, I want to own this arm, okay? Don't allow the person to have a frame here. I have to do different things. So I'm controlling the arm here. And now this is kind of interesting. Let's go a little bit here, please.
Which direction?
Yes, perfect. So what will happen lots of times is that people will make a frame on your hip. Okay? They want to control my hip. And by just rotating, I'm not doing so much about that frame here because he's pretty strong. But when I physically roll my body, see what happens. I roll my body here and smash the arm. From here, I grab the wrist and I bring my knee over. Now from here, I'm pretty weak because my leg is on his bicep. So when he bridges to the left, yes, I will fly over. So the moment that I will trap the arm with my shin, I place my hand on the floor and it will be where it's needed. So now please try to bridge me over. I can post with my hand. Okay? He is never going to escape through my knee because all my weight is on my knee. But what he will probably try is to escape through the other side. So the moment I feel his arm slipping away, I'm switching to the other leg. So again, from this position, he is framing my hip. I roll, I control, and I go over. I have my hand on the floor, and still I don't allow him to frame. So escape this arm, please. When he escapes the arm, I windshield wiper to the other direction. My leg has to be parallel to his body. If my leg is shaped like a Y, he can just pull it out. So it has to be shaped here, from this position. Hand on the floor, foot on the floor. I pull him to the side. So let's rotate a little bit, please. Rotate, rotate. From this position, we're gonna do the Kimura. Okay? But instead of finishing the Kimura right away, I have to think what are his options. So maybe you want to go flat on your back. So I pull him. I pull him towards me. I use the ground to push up with my foot. What can also happen is he switches his legs and he will go to his knees. If you go to your knees and sit up, you see, yeah, you can sit up. Now he escaped my Kimura position. And this will happen a lot with people that are stronger, more athletic. So the moment I pull Rick on his side, and I feel and I see his legs switching. Switch your legs, please. Go to your knees. I will just place my hand here on his back. And I go back to neutral. So now try to go flat to your back or to your knees. You see, I'm controlling him here with either a pull. When you try to go to your back, I'm pulling. When you try to go to your knees, I'm just controlling like this. My hand is only physically on his back. I'm not pushing at all. Try to go to your knees. I can even push him down a little bit and go back here. Now, so this is a position. This is so important. Normally all my weight is on my shin. You can be a little bit more forgiving by having your toes on the mat. And now from here I switch. And I grab the arm. Now let's rotate even more. No, the other side, please. Yes, let's rotate here. Perfect. So from this position right here, even more. Yes, perfect. What will happen a lot of times when you go for this grip here and here is he will grab onto the belt or something like that. So when I try to pull it up, it's so hard. So my first movement is breaking the grip where it's weak to the side like this. Now I move it up. I use my posture. And instead of trying to do the Kimura here, I'm bringing this hand behind his back. Just here. Now try to grab something or try to free your arm. Now from here, it's a small rotation. And there's the Kimura. Okay? So again, he grabs the belt. From here, if you just try to rip it out and you go for the Kimura, he can grab again. You see, maybe he holds to his leg or to the belt. So it's going to the side, going straight up. And from here, I have to bring his hand in a movement here, near his belt. Okay? Now from here, I can finish the Kimura. Of course, I know that maybe he will grab his leg. Grab your leg, please. This is a very common defense. So what can you do? You can switch from here to this position right here. Use your leg to control his head. And now I use my foot to kick his leg. And you see what happens? Again, I'm in the straight arm bar. So what I love about this technique, Rick, is that especially when you spar, when you roll with people that are much younger, more athletic, we seem to be in a rush to finish. And then when we're not able to finish, people are, okay, I should train more often. I should go to the CrossFit or to the gym. Yeah. I have to build more muscles. But the thing is, you cannot compensate control with speed.
Yeah. So you had three things.
I want to save the last for best. That's my personal favorite, the triangle choke from the mount. So let's go to the mounted position. And first of all, in the mount, we are in one line. So that means that I always have to consider being thrown off to the side with the hip thrust escape or the upa or whatever you guys call it. So you have to use your legs. You cannot attack with your arms and control with your arms at the same time. So having hooks, using the hooks is so important. So first, when I control him like this, I control Rick like this, and my right hand is posted here, it's not so probable that he will bridge me to the left. If you bridge me to the left, I have my hand post, okay? So that means that he will probably bridge me to the right, correct? So what I have to do is I have to stop your left leg from being able to drive. So I can insert, let's rotate a little bit. Maybe the people that don't know this yet, I have to insert this hook. And it looks something like this. I insert my hook. And now if he tries to bridge to the right, you see I have my anchor here. If he tries to go to the left, I have my hand. So I always control two sides of the body. Okay? Let's say that I control with my other hand. I control with my left hand. Now I know he will probably bridge me towards the camera. So I have to insert my left hook. And I can also widen my other knee. So this is like a kick stance, like a motorcycle. So I widen my knee and I have my back hook in. That's how we call it, I have my back hook in. So let's go back to the camera. So the first thing with the triangle choke, I have to keep the mount. If he throws me off right away, there is no mounted triangle. Maybe one in the guard, but not in the mount. So I grab him, I insert my hook. So let's try to bridge me to the left or the right. I have my control. Now, from here, I slide my knee up and I control him like this. Watch my forearm. He's resting on my leg. This is so important because for any triangle, you want one arm in, one arm out. So try to retract this arm. That's so hard. Now let's rotate a little bit to this side, please. Now he will probably have this hand close to him. He doesn't want me to just push the hand to the floor. So by having it so close to your body and just trying to push with arm strength, you can resist, right? Resist. Just keep your elbow close and everything. Yes, he's so strong. So what I can do is I can connect my elbow to my hip. So I'm grabbing his wrist, keep your hand close. I'm bringing my elbow to my hip, and by driving my hip forward, you see I can push him to the ground. So that's a very important thing. From here, it's easy to push. But the first part from here, it's hard. So again, my elbow, it goes to my leg or to my hip, and I push forward. You see my knee is moving, like I'm going to the mount with two knees on the floor. Using my hip, and you feel the difference, keep it very strong. I can push it down. I bring it here. Now, I step on the biceps, have your knee on the outside, like this. Immediately I know that I will be very weak for you to bridge to the right side. Bridge to the right side, I will fly off. So the moment my foot lands on his bicep, I do a handoff, I switch. I have my hand here. Now try to bridge me off to the left or the right. It's so hard, okay? Now, 2 other things to consider. I know that he wants to free this arm. So if I just step on the arm neutral, you might be able to pull it up. To pull it up. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing all my effort on having my toes towards the mat. So the only escape that he has is going down. And if you go down, you go straight into the triangle. So my foot is not like this, it's in an angle. So it's like this. If you try to escape upwards, you can't do it. Okay. On the other side, when I post my hand way too far, like this, you can escape that arm, yes. And now everything is gone. So what I have to do is the moment that I'm here, and switching my grip, I post my hand, but I keep it kind of close with my ribs, and then I try to escape that arm. You see, he can't escape the arm. So I'm using this as a post, but also as a control mechanism for this arm. So let's get back a little bit here. So this is position number 1. I have my back hook in. I have my hand here. Now, I'm going to this position. This is also a position. If my foot is too wide, you will probably go like this, or maybe trap it with your legs, go underneath, go to the half guard. So I want this foot to be in the perfect spot, right here. So this is my position. Try to free your arm. It's so hard. If he goes underneath, he gives me the triangle. So now he keeps the arm close. I push it down. I step on the biceps. This is a position, but just for a second, because I know I'm weak in that direction. So I switch and I go here. And here, I can stay here for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Try to escape, please. It's so hard. Try to free your arm. It's so hard. And now from here, I have to shift my body weight to be able to circle my leg around. Make sure that you connect this, that this is tight. Don't have any space right here. Now, to finish, for most people, the shoulder is in the way. I'm gonna extend and I'm gonna go for like a back stroke. From here, there's more options. You can go either for the armbar or we can go for the triangle choke. Again, don't pull your foot back all the way here because the shoulder will be included. I'm here, and now from here, I close the triangle and I squeeze, and there's the tap. Beautiful. So this is another example of having these like check marks or in between positions where you're really only busy with what will he do with that arm? How can he bridge me off? Where does he have possibilities to stop me?
Yeah, those grip switches are very good because every time you shift your position, you're potentially leaving an escape path, but you're denying it. That's very good. It feels very dominant when you feel that sequential approach.
Rick.
So how do you recommend that jiu-jitsu practitioners begin thinking this way? Should they look at the techniques that they're good at, that they do already, and when they roll, just make a note of every time something is able to, that their opponent's able to escape or defend? Or do you recommend flow charting those positions? What do you typically recommend?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Rick. So what I recommend is, in the beginning, of course, it's all about the steps. It's about the what and about how. How do I do that? But what is so important is to ask the question, why am I doing that? Where am I posting my hand? Or when am I doing that? Or when not? So all those questions become increasingly important because I don't want you guys to have 500 submissions and then you roll with really good people and you cannot use any of them. I'd rather have you guys to have like 5 submissions and then know in each of these positions what you can do. Like yesterday I had a roll with Clark Bracey and he already knows before I know it what I'm gonna do. He has been there forever in that position or in every position. So before I attempt my escape, he's just shutting down all my options.
Yeah, he's a master at that.
Yeah, and that's frustrating and it's inspiring at the same time. Yeah.
Where can my viewers find you?
They can find me on YouTube, on Bart Aarts, but also on Instagram, Mats Breda. That's the name of my academy.
Okay.
And again,
I will be there in a couple of months.
Yeah, you will be there in April. We will have an amazing time training together. Yeah. Roy Dean will also join.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait.
Yeah, thanks again for having me here, and to all you guys for watching. And as of this morning, you reached your 50,000 subscribers.
Yes, thank you.
So congrats with
Thank
that.
you.
That's a really big milestone. That's so many
Thank
people
you.
that you
We're asking the waitresses and the customers at the restaurant last night to subscribe.
And maybe they will join, but I'm really proud of you that
Thank you.
so many people can get the information on Jiu-Jitsu. I know there's much information out there, but so much of that videos are just about techniques, and I love the way you approach
Thank
it for the older people, for the people that have to be smarter because maybe you have an injury. So really appreciate you for doing that, and I know that myself and also my students, they really enjoy your videos. So
Thank you. I appreciate
so
it.
much.
I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.